One thing that I found interesting is that Lady Macbeth kind of seems to like control Macbeth like throughout the story. Like he doesn't do a lot of thinking on his own. It's mostly her doing like her putting thoughts into his head. So I thought that was both interesting and strange. Um, Two values that I found in the story were determination and loyalty. Determination um, came up in a lot of places, but one example is Lady Macbeth. She wanted fame and fortune, and so she was determined to persuade Macbeth to kill Duncan to the point where she questions his manhood at one point, which is a, not a good thing to do nowadays, so I can't imagine how bad of a thing it is to do back then. My other value is loyalty, and that is apparent with Macduff. He's loyal to Duncan and Malcolm. He fled Scotland to help um, Malcolm overtake Macbeth, and so that Malcolm could take back the throne. And he also kills Macbeth, which is kind of being loyal to his family because Macbeth killed his family. So, yeah. One thing that I circled was in Act 1, Scene 2 when Ross was delivering the news that Macbeth had won the war, and he called Macbeth Balana's bridegroom, which I didn't know what that meant, but I looked it up and it was a reference to the Roman goddess of war. And that was just basically saying that Macbeth was a war hero. So gender in the story was represented, gender roles were represented by Lady Macbeth. She kind of like flipped the gender roles, specifically when she said at one point, unsex me here, which was kind of like she was asking to take on masculine characteristics and leave her femininity behind so that she would be in the right mindset to kill, which can woman not kill? Like, yeah. And she also, like I said before, she's really dominant in their marriage. She kind of just like controls Macbeth, tells him what to do, and that's just like not normal. For that time, like usually the males are very dominant in the marriage, and they tell the wives what to do. I think that if the I think that the men playing the woman, I don't know. I don't really think that it affected them that much because women weren't really looked at very highly in society. So yeah, I really like think that it didn't really affect the audience. They didn't really think anything of it. But I think it's interesting in this story because Lady Macbeth was taking on those masculine characteristics. I feel like it would actually like bring more to the character. Like it would, yeah, you could like believe her more. Like when she says "sex me here," like literally it's being played by a man, so that would be a lot more like believable. And then my two questions are: if Lady Macbeth was unsuccessful in persuading Macbeth to kill Duncan, how do you think that the story would be different? Do you think that Macbeth would still be alive, or whatever? And how does the witches' prophecies that they told Macbeth, how do those prophecies tempt Macbeth throughout the story?